Item number 10.
Item number 10, Department and Committee Reports, non-action items. 10A, 2017 through 2021 Strategic Plan Update. Tim Wolken, Executive Director, Community Services Department.
Mr. Wolken.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for your time today as we give you our semi-annual update on the 2017 to 21 plan. As you likely recall, our plan is broken down into 5 broad goals you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen. We further break those down into 26 strategies and then finally 146 objectives that are really very defined and measurable, and that's really what we're tracking over this 5-year plan. So, Commissioners, at this point, through 2019, we've addressed about 129 of the objectives at this point, or about 90% of those. We call either launched or completed. Many of these are multi-year objectives, so whenever we make major progress on an objective or we completed an objective, we come before you and give you an update, and that's what we'll be doing today. We'll provide eight updates for you at this point. You'll notice in 2021, we just have 2. That was planned because we knew that we'd be updating the next 5-year plan for 2022 to 2026 during that time period. It's about a year process to do that, so we'll be wrapping up the objectives that we have through this plan and then spending a lot of time developing the next 5-year plan during 2021. So, Commissioners, that's just a brief overview of kind of where we're at in regards to the objectives themselves. Any questions to me before we bring up our first update? If not, I will ask Whitley Crow to lead us off.
Come on, Whitley.
Well, I was seeing if they wanted to come with me.
We got lots of really hard questions for you, so please proceed.
I'm ready. I'm Whitley Crow with the Interagency Relations Division. And for Goal 1, Strategy B, Objective 6, the goal was to reinstate an Employee Service Award Recognition Program. As you know, during the Great Recession, the Employee Service Award Recognition programs got put on hold because of limited budgets. But in the last couple of years, our region has recovered from the recession, and last year, or in 2018 actually, we were given the go-ahead to begin reinstating the Employee Service Award Recognition Program. This is for employees who have worked here for 5 years or longer. And so our task was to invite all who had not been recognized in the past 9 years to this event to make sure that they felt recognized as a kickoff event. And so myself, Cheryl Smith, Deanna Ruscioni, and then Nancy Nelson in the box came together as a committee, and we started designing what this employee service recognition event should look like for employees and their families that they could enjoy. So on August 2nd, we had over 900 employees and their family members attend an evening at the zoo where they were able to also have a giraffe feeding experience. And after that event, we received multiple phone calls and emails from employees and directors telling us that not only did they feel very grateful that the commissioners allowed them to have this event to feel recognized, but also that commissioners and directors were at the front of the event personally thanking them for their service. And so with that, Nancy has created a short video. So that's our update. Do you have any questions?
Just one. Who's responsible for all those pictures? Because there's.
I would blame the PIO department.
Okay, all right. We'll do
I have to wonder if Mark burned the yellow shorts.
The yellow shoes?
No, the shorts.
Oh, shorts.
No way, man. I'm going to wear those every day this summer. I love those things. All right, yes, Commissioner Vanderwerf.
I just want to say thanks. I thought it was a great event. I had a lot of fun. it was obvious everybody really enjoyed themselves there. So for the team that put that together, thank you very, very much. And I'm also very appreciative of the leadership of the county to say, yep, let's go ahead and do something like this, because it wasn't for free that we
Right.
got there, right? And then my last comment, I just want to know, that picture with Craig and Mark, was that the how to look the most serious photo, or what was that?
I think it was Zoolander.
Totally, that was my best blue steel.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
All right, anything else? No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Commissioners, you may recall we met earlier last year and talked about performance metrics, and we've been tracking those since 2015 on our county website. But we talked about enhancing what we were doing, and that's really what this objective deals with, is expanding those metrics that we're tracking to be able to demonstrate to our citizens the work that we're doing, primarily on external services that we offer to the public. And so I'm proud to announce that this year we'll have 30 objectives that we'll be attracting through and with our various metrics, and I will quickly run through these for you. So we have the Department of Human Services. We'll be doing those 3 that you see listed there. And community services, a variety from environmental through parks and even PR bonds. Our Public Works Department, primarily road-related type metrics. The Pikes Peak Workforce Center is joining us this year for the first time, which we appreciate, and El Paso County Public Health as well. So what we will be doing with these metrics is we'll have these updated at least monthly, and you'll be able to go on our website and be able to pull these up. And another piece of good news too, with Office 365, it'll allow us to upgrade from what we've had as kind of a glorified spreadsheet on our website for a number of years. Now we'll be able to use graphs and charts to track each one of these as well. And so hopefully pretty much real time you'll have these. So if you're going to a citizen meeting, or if you've got a citizen calling you about a particular issue, want to know how many lane miles of dust abatement we've done in 2020, you should have that pretty much real time. And we think and I do want to thank Jeff and IT staff for their help, but by February 2020, we'll have these in graph and chart form as well for you. And so we look forward to that. If there's any metrics that you get asked about that you would like to have tracked that's not on this list, we're happy to do that as well, if you'll let us know. So any type of questions come up at your citizen meetings or just phone calls that you receive, please let us know, and we're happy to address those as well. But we're real excited about this, and I think it'll be a nice upgrade. And you see most counties around the country that are doing good quality work having these updated metrics, and I think our citizens will appreciate it as well. Any questions of me at this point?
Any questions? All right, nope, seeing none, let's
you.
proceed.
Morning, Commissioner. Scott Cuthbertson, Public Works. Goal 3, Strategy A, Objective 7, is all about workforce innovation ideas and performance against goals. We have recently completed about 90% of my workforce in small group settings in what we call Coffee with a Crew. I've sat down with each of the crews without their leadership present to gather their thoughts, just unfettered thoughts on the organization. But through that process, we find a lot of innovative ideas. Our employees that do the job every day are the ones that understand the best way to do it. And we've been able to implement a lot of things and come up with a lot of ideas that we're going to move forward with to improve our performance on our strategic goals. The reclaimer and stabilizer we've talked about. I took you guys out, showed it to you in September. Our process continues to work on that as we refine our process and we improve the condition of gravel roads throughout the county. As we learn some lessons through that, and it allows us to reduce the amount of time that we take to maintain a road, the frequency in which we have to maintain that road, and it allows the road to be safer for our citizens as they travel on those roadways. We've gotten a lot of very positive feedback on that. The automated truck wash facility is up and running. We still are tweaking the operation just a little bit, but instead of hand washing a truck for over an hour with a power washer, it takes about 90 seconds to wash that truck. It's been a very successful operation for us, and that's going to save us a couple of thousand man-hours a year. In addition, salt brine, again, something we've talked about. We are now doing anti-icing operations prior to a storm. Usually 48, 72 hours prior to a storm, we'll go out and put a mix of salt brine down on the roadways, which will prevent the snow and ice from chemically bonding to the roadway and make it easier for us to clean it off, reduce the amount of effort our folks are putting into the roadway, and make those roads safer for our citizens. We've only been doing this for a few months, but we've gotten a lot of very positive feedback from the public on that, and my workforce sees a difference in what they do with that. So, pending your questions.
We'll start with Commissioner Williams.
So as I understand it, I cannot bring my Kia Soul over for the car wash. It would probably fly through there, right?
I actually, given that it's your personal vehicle, we don't all want to end up on the front page of the Gazette or in jail, so no. However, I did bring Kenny through in my Durango the other day, and we didn't crash into anything, so that's a positive step for us. But it'll take any county vehicle of any size, up
So
to and including our
typically,
largest vehicles.
after a snowstorm, a couple days, I'll give you a call one day. I would like to come and see it.
Absolutely.
Okay?
We'll run you through it anytime you want.
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Thank you. I appreciate the list. Great examples of innovation, most definitely in the county. And just a couple of questions with that. With regard to the truck wash, the last I had heard was kind of working on the electrical, but am I to understand correctly, it's up and running?
It has been up and running for about 3 weeks now. We still have some challenges we have to face. Murphy's Law, we got the doors automated into the system, and then the door opener burned out. So we have to open the door manually, and we're putting RFID decals into the truck so the operator drives up to the door, and once this decal's in there, the system will recognize the truck as the size of it and adjust the wash accordingly for that truck, and they don't even have to get out to start the wash.
Great. And then with regard to the salt brine, I think it's obviously technology enhancement, but just a more efficient way to keep our roads clear and prevent ice from adhering to the road to begin with. But I occasionally run into a citizen that has made the comment to me, well, it seems like we've been doing less salting of roads because in their head, they're thinking about seeing pellets, right? So there's probably something we can do maybe in 2020 a little bit more. I think you did a lot actually in 2019 about trying to inform the community about the changes that we're making, but there's probably a little more to do. At least on that one, I've gotten some comments, and I've told them what it really is doing, and they were pretty happy with it after the explanation, but they didn't perceive it that way. And then the last item, I think it's great that you're having the coffee with a crew feedback sessions. With no names or anything, could you give an example of something that you thought was really interesting that maybe you might intend on trying to do in 2020 that came from one of those feedback sessions?
So I think an example of something we learned in the feedback session is talking to our crew that does the striping on the roadways and the process that they go through to do that. In the case of that particular truck, it's a very complex truck, very complex operation, and they don't have a way to communicate quickly between the vehicles. There's a chase vehicle that keeps traffic off of the truck. I think you actually saw it when we were out in September on the roadway. So what we're doing is we're working on basically a Bluetooth-based intercom system so that that entire crew can speak to each other without having to get on a radio. In addition to that, we're going to add in recording camera systems in the chase truck and in the striping truck so that we can, one, evaluate the efficiency of our operation, and two, we get a lot of citizen complaints about, they drove through the paint and we sprayed paint on their car, and it just gives us an opportunity to prove that or deny it, basically.
Okay, great, thank you. Great job on all the projects.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Anybody else? I have one question. I understand the city of Colorado Springs has kind of already burned through their budget for the salt brine and mix and stuff that they put on the roadways and are already out of it for the entire year, and we're in January. I'm wondering where we are, knowing that we have had a significant amount of snowfall already in this season.
So for our maintenance budget, we don't allocate a specific amount for snow removal operations. We just use that out of our maintenance fund. And then if we have a heavy snow season like we did in 2019, if we have to pull funds from other projects to support that, we'll do that. It'll just reduce the number of other projects that we can do. We're in a position where obviously we have to do snow removal. We can't not do it. It is one of those things that through the innovation, through the new technology and the trucks that we've purchased in the last 5 or 6 years, and with bringing on the salt brine, we're reducing our material costs. And then by providing the anti-icing and salt brine, we are reducing the number of man hours we spend on the roadway. So our overall snow removal costs will stay about the same, even though we've had more storms. 2019 was interesting because we had like 16 storms in a row on weekends. So that's all overtime for our folks. So that's created some additional challenges for us.
But I also understand, like with the brine and other grit and things that gets put down on the roadways, we really stockpile that heavy in the summer months and purchase it then when it's cheaper. So we have no danger of running out of that in this snow season and then having to, purchase it at a premium because we've fallen short in some way.
Yeah, Commissioner, we do most of our purchasing for products in the summertime. We buy a lot of our salt and sand mix in the summertime, and we've stockpiled a great deal of it to get us through. In fact, we just took some deliveries recently to make sure we don't run out through this season.
All right, that's what I was trying to get at. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. Mr. Eckhart.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Eckhart, Information Technology Department, here to report to you on Goal 3, Strategy B, Objective Number 5, which is retire legacy software products and transition operations to sustainable software architectures. I'm happy to report on the good work that the folks in IT and other departments are doing to retire old software, which improves our security posture and makes things more efficient. Starting with the public website platform was moved in 2018. The public parcel record search for the assessor's office was also moved in 2018. The clerk and recorder led a BOCC agenda management system migration that was completed in 2018. We have just recently completed consolidating all county operations to the Kronos time and attendance systems. We have a single system for that now, which is a huge win for us. The eDocs document management system was retired last year, leaving us with only one document management system left. The Cisco phone system was a major upgrade last year. And we continue to work on the Harris Govern Assessor Treasurer system, which is scheduled to go live in the first quarter of 2021. Additionally, with your investments in IT and the Office 365 program, you'll see each of the Office versions and Windows that were retired as a result of our project last year to implement Office 365 countywide. This is a huge security risk for us that's been patched, and so we're very pleased to say that that program is now complete as well. Can I answer any questions about any of these systems for you?
Anything for the IT department? Nope, seeing none, thank you. Ms. Latier.
Good morning, Commissioners. Crystal Latier, El Paso County Economic Development Department. As you know, in economic development, we approach that holistically, meaning that we really focus on three main component areas: business incentives, housing, and then community initiatives. So I'm here today to speak regarding a housing item that is in line with Goal 4 to consistently support regional economic strength and also impacting Strategy E Objective 1, which is to increase the usage of existing down payment assistance and first-time home buyers for new construction through education and promotion. So our department also acts as staff to El Paso County Housing Authority. And in 2013, they implemented what was known as the Turnkey Down Payment Assistance Program. So that program has been going on since 2013 and has had a series of adjustments to help with market conditions and helping folks get into first-time home buyers. So since 2013, nearly 2,500 homeowners have been assisted through the program. The numbers that you'll see on the screen in front of you, the 400 number count, is specifically to our strategic plan increment, so the 2017 through 2019. In addition to that, I wanted to point out the program does not require that you are a first-time home buyer. However, the majority of the folks that use that program are first-time home buyers. We see about 99% of residents using this assistance are first-time home buyers, and about 4% of those residents are purchasing newly constructed homes. Any questions about this program?
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Yes, thank you very much for the program. Appreciate it. Just a little bit about planning for 2020.
Yes.
Same program, continue as is?
Correct. We made some slight adjustments in 2019, and really that has to do with market conditions. As you all know, we are continuing to see an increase in home prices in our region. So how we adjusted that to kind of, I wouldn't say combat the market, is we added a 5% down payment assistance. Traditionally, this program was offering 4%, so we've offered a slightly higher down payment assistance since home prices are higher. We do plan to continue the program in 2020, offering a variety of down payment assistance options.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Latier?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I will leave some flyers up front for any residents that are coming about the program. Great opportunity.
Perfect,
Thank you.
thanks. Ms. Whelan.
Good morning, Commissioner. Susan Wheeling, Public Health Director. I'm here to talk about Goal 5, Strategy D, a groundwater quality study in the upper Black Squirrel Creek Basin located in the northeastern part of the county by Falcon and Peyton. This study is being conducted by the U.S. Geological Survey Department and was initiated by you all, the Board of County Commissioners. A committee was formed with Commissioner Gonzalez as the liaison, industry stakeholders, key water districts, and select county staff to address concerns by subdivisions to investigate groundwater quality in the basin under a phased plan. The goal of the study is to have science and data to review for potential regulatory changes. This project will provide information on changes in groundwater nitrate concentration over time and identify potential nitrate sources and other potential contaminants. The USGS is currently in phase 3, which is resampling 50 wells, and the USGS will prepare a final report in 22 for publication. The analysis of the data will not start until 2021. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Whelan? Yep, sure.
So for the 50 wells, knowing that we've had some recent challenges up at the Air Force Academy, and I'm glad that we have good output from that. But are those 50 wells in the southeast, all in the southeast area, or is there any participation with regard to what had happened recently at the Air Force Academy?
My understanding with this specific study, it was initiated back in 2007, and the goal was to focus on the northeastern part of the county, which I understand is like a Y-shaped area, and it's in the Falcon and Peyton area. I don't know if Commissioner Gonzalez, if you have any more details, and the myriad of compounds and even pharmaceuticals and everything that is being tested is pretty vast, but to my understanding, it is not occurring in the southeastern portion of the county.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I apologize for my voice today. Yeah, so this is going to be out in the eastern plains. The Widefield Aquifer should be disconnected from that. Now, could there be some overlay there? I guess there's a possibility, but we don't anticipate seeing that. But it's something I'm sure that they will be looking for. But this being out in the eastern plains, they should be 2 separate water aquifers.
Okay, great. I'm glad I asked the question because I was working on obviously the mistaken assumption this was revolving around the southeast area as opposed to where it is. So thanks.
And I do want to mention the concerns with the PFCs that CDC and ASTAR, they are, in working with the School of Public Health, are offering opportunities to do some testing. And that information, if you all haven't received that, I can get that out or would be happy to organize a briefing of what's happening because that will be another effort to address the concerns with the PFCs, PFAs.
Excellent, thank you.
Mr. Garvin.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Garvin, Department of Human Services. Julie's in Denver attending some packed meetings today, so she's overbooked. So you got me. I'm here to report
And we're
on...
thankful for that.
I am very thankful for that. Thank you.
We're
glad you are. I'm glad you are, too. I'm here to report on Goal 5, Strategy F, Objective 2, helping remove employment barriers for our citizens. I want to assure you that we take full advantage of our federal programs to put people to work. Really proud of the fact that from January to November, I'll have the full number by the 20th of January, but we put 2,090 individuals into employment, the department. I'm very proud of that because that behind each individual is a lot of coordination, collaboration, and motivation. That's about 190 individuals entering employment per month at the department. And then we made 1,395 referrals to community partners to assist our citizens with any issues around mental health, substance abuse, and domestic violence to remove those barriers for their employment. I think that's an excellent number. And the next one is Goal 5, Strategy G, Objective 5 also. So DHS has collated our child welfare staff and our adult protection staff with local law enforcement to help with the common response and understanding child abuse and neglect issues in our community. In addition, we're also expanding collaboration with Children's Hospital to do the same thing, and we're developing a multidisciplinary team to address responses to children 0 to 3 with a team of caseworkers, nurse practitioners, mental health, life coach kind of people, that kind of thing. And then also our Not One More Child continues to meet in the community, collaborate to bring awareness to our community. Our community partnerships, such as with Community Action Council and the Expedited Individualized Services and Support Team, that's a mouthful, help streamline services for our families and children. We also have an enhanced screening process and strong customer service in our child abuse hotline, and that has really enhanced our decision-making around referrals for child abuse. Likewise, in adult protection, we provided over 28 community outreach events addressing abuse and neglect of our at-risk adult population in the past year. And that's what I have to report. So thank you. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Garvin? Commissioner Vanderwerf?
Just again, both great programs. Appreciate very much what you all are doing. On the first one with regard to the employment, I just think that's fantastic. I think it's one of the best things that we can do for people that have challenges in their lives is to help them get to a job, working through whatever the challenges they may have in getting there, because that gives them that opportunity to be self-sufficient, to have some money in their pocket to take care of their family. Right. I think that's a wonderful program. And I do want to ask about where you think DHS, working in partnership with the Workforce Center, is going to, what you're all going to do in 2020 on that activity.
Still strong collaboration, some planning around building resources for employment, definitely. Educational resources to help people get trained for jobs. The Workforce Center has money for that, so doing a lot of coordination around that. Just to note, our T program, the TANF Employment Accessibility Program, where we've hired TANF participants, is thriving. We have about 40 temporary staff in those positions right now, which really help our workload. And as we have vacancies, if those people work out in their jobs, they can apply for jobs with the county. That's been a really successful program, and that's where you really see pride in people's faces, like, I have this great job with the county, and I didn't think I could get there. So I also think it's important that our employees see the other participants as valuable and can be a resource for the county.
Great. I look forward to seeing more great things in 2020 on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your support of our department.
Hang on one second. Commissioner
Sorry,
Bremer.
have one more hot seat question for you. With that, actually, would you go back a slide to the previous objective? Thank you. With those 1,300, almost 1,400 referrals to community services, can you, do we have metrics or tracking after the handoff? I fully well recognize that government, couldn't and shouldn't necessarily follow that all the way through, but we have a wonderful community full of community partners that are specifically capable and have the resources to come alongside these citizens and helping them. But I'd love to know whether there's kind of measurement on the back end. And while I certainly understand we can't control it, I'm just wondering whether those are, soft, quick handoffs and then we kind of step back, or what kind of the follow through maybe looks like.
Each participant has a case manager that follows that along. Yeah. And so, if they're having barriers, then the case manager will help them kind of navigate through those systems. I don't have the feedback off the top of my head, but I can get that to you soon. Like how we track
Excellent.
that kind of thing, yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
But they are followed along. They're not just here's a referral, go do it. We make sure that sticks, or if it doesn't work, what else can we do for them?
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Thank you,
Anything
Commissioners.
else? All right, thank you. Mr. Wolkin.
That concludes our report today. I do want to thank you, the county administrator, and our staff as well for really focusing on this plan itself. Many times you see these plans being done, they sit on a shelf and we don't come back to them again until 5 years later. And I don't think we've done that. We've come back to you and reported. You've had great interest in what we're attempting to do here, and it's really been a good roadmap, I think, for El Paso County overall. And so I just want to thank you for your support and thank our staff as well for reporting today.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to everybody that's participated in this process. I think that we have great vision for how to move this community forward, and that's a direct result of all that the staff does. We just rent these jobs for a little while. It's the staff and the members that work here that invest their lives in making this community a better place for people to live, work, and play. And so I think that's an absolutely great thing. I love that we're doing this. I love that in this county now we've adopted the idea of thinking big, and never saying we can't do that because of some reason. It's always, hey, if we want to accomplish something big, by golly, we're going to figure out how to make it happen. And that's all a direct result of the work that you all have put into this. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.